Hey guys, today on It's Alive, we're going to be making fermented salsa, a really simple red tomato, chili, garlic, onion, a couple little wild cards salsa. Fermented, blended, eaten with some corn chips, fermented salsa, baby. I just got some organic grape tomatoes, and that's what we got there. That's our base. We got 1 pound, okay? And then I got a habanero chili, fresh, and a serrano, 2 very, very delightful fresh chilies, okay? We're gonna leave them whole as is, and then I got 4, 5, 6, whatever you're into, cloves of garlic, and then I got a dried chili, a dried morita chili, which it has already a nice little smokiness to it, and I think will add just a really nice depth to the salsa. And then I got a little cast iron skillet going, nice and hot over there. I'm just gonna throw the garlic in there, give it a little dry kind of little roast. And then these chilies, you could roast them up in the cast iron, but what I like to do is I'm just gonna place them right over the fire here and just kind of let them get a little blistery. And then right into the cast iron, we're just gonna move fast, Kev. You ready? We're gonna go on this. We got a little black cumin, a couple things of fennel, seed, a little pink peppercorn. Don't let that toast up. Don't go walking away from that, from anything at this point, really. Habaneros, yes, they're hot. You could use any chili here at this point, you know. I like, oh God. Oh, don't, we're not gonna lose it. Oh, we'll burn off any of the germs. Not a problem. What I do love, oh, come on, Brad. So look, we're gonna add that right into the tomatoes. I mean, at this point, even the garlic really, it's nice to just open it up, you know? As soon as they start getting a little crackly, you do not wanna burn them at this point. Whenever toasting seeds, you know, the worst thing you could really do is just go walking away, getting super distracted. When you try to go out and get some nice dried chilies, which I highly recommend, it's one of my favorite ingredients, try to find ones that are pliable. You don't want to get ones when you touch them, they just shatter and turn into dust. You want ones that are nice and still have a little bit of life in them, you know, still have a little bit of pliability to the skin. I like to just crush it up, let that join the party real nice there. And then same with the peppers. I forgot, when I roast them, I leave the stem on just because it's easier to handle, but I remove them at this point. What else? What did I forget? Oh, salt and an onion. The onion, let's put a little color on it. I feel like everyone's got a half of an onion in the fridge or somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Well, this recipe calls for a half of an onion. So if you don't have a half of an onion, you do now. And then salt. You could go 1, 1.5, 2%. I just kind of do it as I would, as if I was making it, you know, just intuition, just like if I was cooking. Because at the end of the day, just if I chop this up, that's probably how much, if I was gonna make like a fresh salsa, it's probably about how much salt I would add. So this I'll just cut up, and again, that's just gonna add a little bit of, you know, that Maillard reaction. Whenever you caramelize something, it's gonna add a little bit of depth of flavor to it, and that's it. So we'll throw that into the bag. That was kind of a big onion, a big half. I'm gonna reserve one, okay? All right, let's back it up there, Kevo. We'll get this set up. We'll have one as like a rolling pantry. And then we'll have one where I can like set up some cool stuff, some projects. We can start hanging some things, get real weird, you know? Maybe dry some fruit. Maybe a chicken foot, I don't know. Don't even look at it, Kevin. Keep your big zoom lens even away from it. Look at that hair. You don't even have to go pushing nothing. NutriChef, they did not cut corners when it came to sensors underneath those buttons. I'll tell you what, I respect that. NutriChef, I'm standing by it. You go ahead and call me, guys. Oh, you know what we gotta get, Kevo? For the new shop, for the new chambers, wherever we may land, here or somewhere, even more beautiful, I don't know, is one of those vacuum sealers where it's like, all right, it's like a unit. They're, you know, they're legit. The restaurant folks know. Where you lay it in and it's a whole chamber. You lay it in, you close the door, and it's like, and it's none of this little thing. It's like a whole. So look, that's actually a great. This thing's working great. So what I like to do is give it a little smash. This will happen on its own as it ferments, but I like to just kind of speed it up a little bit, just really get the party started. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get this party started. So yeah, we're gonna let this hang out. It's about I'd say around 70, 69, 71 degrees in here. So I'm gonna say this will take about 5 days. No, let's dial that back. This is gonna take tomatoes. I bet you it gets a little warmer here at night. Say 3.5 days, maybe 4, Kev. And then that's it. And then we're gonna blend it, and we'll get some chips. We'll call it salsa. You come back, oh, how about now? Ready, bud? So look. Wow. That's our salsa, that's our bag. So all the tomato broke down. Oh, shit. Rewind. So I made a mistake. It's not the end of the world, and the show will go on. And since we're doing swaps, and it's, you know, it's not a big deal, but I forgot. And it's actually kind of a happy accident because I often will add it at the end just for a nice, fresh kind of vibrance. But look, I pulled the swap out, and I was like, yeah, so everything broke down the tomatoes, and I was like, what is all that green stuff? I usually throw some cilantro in during the fermentation, and it leaches out, and it just gets a really nice thing. But actually, I found that it can be, this is actually very nice, and it works really well. But if you do what I did here and leave out the cilantro and just let all the other good things ferment and get happy and marry, and then at the end, after you blend it, hit it with some fresh cilantro, just some like chopped up tender leaves and stems at the end, it's even better. So boom. So that's what happened here. So with this one, in 4 days, I'll add some fresh cilantro to it, and I think that'll be great. I forgot the cilantro. It's that simple. But you know what? I'm not trying to, you know, since in this situation where, you know, COVID, the pandemic, I'm doing all these things. I'm making all these projects. I'm not a big swap guy, but if I'm gonna do swaps, I like to do them myself, kind of like stunts, you know? Kind of like Tom Cruise. Doesn't he do all his own stunts? I do all my own swaps. I'm just not as weird as Tom Cruise. But Tom, if you're listening, I love you. And Mission Impossibles, I don't care what anyone says. Those are great movies. All right, plowing forward. Whether or not you forget your cilantro, here we are, okay? So this one fermented for about 4 days. Onions broke down kind of nicely, right? Look at that. Cilantro's in there, wilted out. Tomatoes are turned into just liquid, right? Just skins and liquid. But look at that. I mean, it doesn't look that great, but it doesn't look that bad, right? I was thinking the same thing. So let's open it up. Ooh, I'll tell you what. Right off the nose. Yeah, right off the nose. Right out of the bag. I smell a little bit of that like really nice roasted habanero, floral spiciness, the sweetness from the tomatoes. I'm excited. So what you do, pay attention. This gets a little complicated here. It's been really simple so far. Make sure your blender is off and clean, off and clean. And you just go ahead and dump all that right in there. So yeah, I mean, you could rock and roll just like this. It's a little soupy and a little chunky in spots for me. So I'm just gonna hit it with the little shh. All right, we're gonna start slow. All right, babe, you ready? Oh, good God, that's not very slow. Oh, this one's got the turbo. That's kind of it. It smells wonderful. That's why I really like, I mean, you could blister up those tomatoes too. For me, it could be a little too much to blister up all the tomatoes, but I really like, in this fermented salsa, I really like adding the char on the peppers because it just comes through. It just gives it cuts that like raw fermented vegetal, and it just gives it that little bit more depth of like a finished product. Enough yapping, let me get a bowl. Here, we'll start small, okay, Kev? Oh wait, let me taste it first. At this point, always taste and adjust seasoning. Oh my God, it's perfect. It's so good. And there you have it. You know, you can make it any texture you want. I kind of like this. It could be a skosh chunkier. The thing was on turbo when I kicked it on. You know, all said and done, I'm still very happy with that. And then, oh, look at this. We got some chips. I hate eating like by myself in front of a camera. I truly do. It's so good, crunch, crunch, but I'm gonna do it. Not to reference Chris Morocco, but I'm gonna. He doesn't throw me compliments very often, but a couple times he's like, one of them I think was mustard, and he was like, this is the, like with his quirky eyes and shit, he was like, this is the best thing you've ever made.
It's literally the best thing he's ever made. And he doesn't believe me when I say that.
It's borderline insulting. It might be a skosh, might be a little hint spicy for old Morocco, but he might be like, this is one of the best things you've ever made. It is phenomenal, and it's so easy. You saw it here. All you need is this. You don't even need this. You can use a jar. All right, this is old school style of cooking. Real simple, but just the little steps. Toast up your spices. Get good spices, okay? Get a nice dried chili. Learn about dried chilies, because they're not all the same. It's not just dried chili. There's a whole spectrum of different types and different cultures that use them. Dive into them. That's how you learn. But look at us now. We're making really awesome salsa in a bag, fermented, raw, fermented, good for you. I love you. Let's keep fermenting. We'll see you next time. Bon Appétit. I was aiming for that.